everyone, welcome back to my channel. You know, I love fighting games. And one of the best fighting games out there, in my opinion, has to be the Super Smash Bros. Franchise. I remember all the way back in 1999 when this first came out for the Nintendo 64. I remember the various commercials for it, and I thought how weird it was. And I remember going to a friend's house who lived a couple doors down from me. He was quite a bit younger than I was as well. But his parents got it day one for him. And I remember trying it out there and thinking just how mind-blowing this game was, seeing these very iconic Nintendo characters beating the crap out of each other. Like, it was something that I thought was very phenomenal. Now, fast forward now, and many years later, the character roster has grown immensely. And I thought that I would just talk a little bit about this very interesting idea on how these new characters that they put into Smash Brothers can sort of lead to the players who play Super Smash Bros. To perhaps experience and go to the source material and play these older games. And so I thought I would go through the current roster on the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So that's the newest iteration for the Switch, Nintendo Switch. And I was going to go through the roster and tell you if I had known about these particular characters before they were released on Smash Brothers. So for example, did I know Mario before Mario was put into Smash Brothers, for example? And tell you if it inspired me to go learn more about that franchise or not. I thought it'd be kind of a cool little idea. So the very first person and roster, of course, is the series mascot of Nintendo, is Mario. Now, of course, I knew Mario before Smash Brothers was even a thing. You know, I remember playing, my first introduction to Mario was Mario 64, which was a great game. It's one of my all-time favorite games, of course. I had a very brief encounter with Mario, with the first Mario, Super Mario, and it was pretty good. I remember just running around once, but it's not really a very strong connection because it was maybe like a minute or two at one of my dad's friends' houses. But yeah, no, I knew Mario way ahead before Smash Brothers was even thought of back then. So the next one is Donkey Kong, and I knew about Donkey Kong, again, way before he was even put into Smash Brothers. I was first introduced to Donkey Kong actually on the Donkey Kong 64, and I also knew about him on the very first Donkey Kong game where Mario is jumping over the barrels. So I was quite familiar with Donkey Kong and loved the game. Again, I do definitely think that Donkey Kong 64, a game that I was first really introduced to Donkey Kong and all his crazy family, I would definitely say is an underrated game. I know there's a lot of better games people put out there, Donkey Kong Country, for example, or Tropical Freeze. People highly praise that, and not so much Donkey Kong 64. But I really like Donkey Kong 64. I have a lot of nostalgia for it, so that could also be a reason for it too. But I think it's a fantastic game, and I knew about DK long before he came out in Smash. Now, Link is somebody, again, who I knew way before he came out in Smash. Very iconic Nintendo character. You know, Legend of Zelda, knew all about him. I played Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask by the time I got to this. You know, even I had experience with, on the Game Boy, a couple of friends of mine who had Zelda on the Game Boy. So I'd watch them play a little bit. So I knew about Link before he was even thought of to be put in Smash. The next one is Samus. Now, when Samus was introduced into Smash Brothers, I didn't know who the heck Samus was. I did not know what franchise or any of that. And I have, even today, very sparingly played any kind of Metroid game. I've played a little bit of Metroid here and there, but I mean, not a whole lot. And it's something I'd like to do more of, matter of fact. And Samus is one of my favorite characters to play as in Smash Brothers, so it's definitely has inspired me to go and try to learn more about Metroid and go further in it. Now, of course, there's what is it, Dark Samus? I have no idea where the lore of that came from. I was first introduced to Dark Samus here, actually, on Smash Brothers. I had never heard of Dark Samus before, and yeah, it's really cool, awesome character, very similar to Samus, obviously, but a very cool character. Now the next one is Yoshi, and I was very familiar with Yoshi, both in terms of the Mario franchise, where he was introduced, but also from Yoshi Story and learning about Yoshi from there. So I was not surprised when Yoshi was in the roster. I knew who he was way before he was in Smash, so that was very good. Now the next one is a character who I actually really want to know more about their backstory and play all their games, and that's Kirby. I think Kirby is an awesome character in Smash. I remember first playing Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 64 when it first came out, and not knowing who this pink ball was. I had no idea who he was, where he came from, and it's funny because I immediately was drawn to Kirby, but it never got beyond that. I never went to take action to go play any of his games, and that includes today. Up to this very day, I haven't done that, and that's a shame, and I'm very ashamed to admit that. However, I do want to change that, and actually play some of these games. Now, having said that, I became more familiar with Kirby and the Kirby franchise with the television show. So there used to be a TV show where Kirby was the main star, and you went to Dreamland or Dream World, and it was quite fun. I really enjoyed it as a kid, and that's where I got to learn a lot of the different characters that would later be in Smash Brothers. But I never learned about them from the games that they were from. So that's a very interesting point. Now the next character is Fox. I knew Fox from Star Fox. Loved that game. I was not surprised when I seen him. I knew exactly who he was. Great game. Star Fox 64 is an excellent game. I really enjoyed it, and it's a game, again, if you have a DS, I think it's on the DS or 3DS, and I think if you have a Nintendo 64, definitely, if you can get your hands on Star Fox 64, play it. It is a fantastic and phenomenal journey. I really enjoyed it. It's a fast game too. It doesn't take you long to beat, so that's a good one. Now another character, a very famous character to anybody who likes Game Freak games, and that's Pikachu, right? He's the mascot of Pokemon. I love Pokemon, as many of you know already, so I was no stranger to Pikachu, and so when he was a part of the roster, I first was excited. And I mean, I knew exactly who Pikachu was. I think he's a fantastic character and a great introduction into Smash Brothers. Now the next character again is Luigi. I knew all about Luigi again from the Mario franchise. My first introduction to Luigi, I think, was Super Mario. Was when I got to meet him, and it's just now recently that I've been playing games where he's the star character, right? Luigi's Mansion. So a part of this year's games to beat, one of them on there is Luigi's Mansion, because I have never played it. I always was looking for it back when I had a GameCube and it was brandy new. I couldn't find the Luigi's Mansion, and so I'm so happy to be playing it now for this year and having it off my list. So, but I knew about Luigi before he was even in Smash. So another great character in there. Now here's a character who I had no idea where he came from, and it was rather recent that, recent in the last 5 years, I will say, where I learned where he came from, and that's Ness. I thought he was a cool character to have in Smash Brothers. I liked his attacks and all that. At the time when he was first introduced, was just to be. I thought he was like supposed to be the player, like us playing, like as an embodiment of children playing. Obviously, that's not the case. He's from his own series, right? The Mother series, and Earthbound and all that. I have never played Earthbound. I haven't played any of those games. There are definitely games I would like to play. I've heard excellent things about them. And it's definitely, again, inspired me to want to play these games at some point in time, just to see where they come from. And that's sort of what this whole inspiration of doing this was, is that playing Smash, you find these characters, like, who are these people? And it sometimes can inspire you to want to play these games. The next one is Captain Falcon. What a great character too. For the longest time, I thought he was saying "Show me your boobs" when he would do his B attack, but it's "Show me your moves." So, as a kid, I loved it for that one reason, because that's what I thought he was saying. But I have never played any of his games. I've seen some people play them. I've watched one person go through and play an F-Series game, but I've never actually myself played through one. And I would like to, because I like racing games, so it wouldn't be a surprise for me to go one day play that. And I heard it's very fast-paced gaming and racing, which would be quite fun. They're kind of reminiscent of, for example, the Sonic All-Stars racing, where there are some tracks where it's very quick tracks that you play there as well. So that would definitely be something to do. The next character, of course, is Jigglypuff, and again, I knew Jigglypuff way before as a Pokemon fan, Gen 1er, right? I knew very well who Jigglypuff was. Now, in terms of Peach, again, from Mario, right? I knew exactly who Peach was. Wasn't a surprise when they put her in there. I knew who she was. I knew how Mario saves her in every game, and that she was quite an important character in the Mario franchise. Daisy, I had no idea who she was, where she came from. I knew she was a Mario character just by her look, but I had no idea her relation. And to be honest, I'm still not too sure. The only time I became familiar with her was actually in Mario Kart. And she's a character in there that you can play. But when I first encountered her in Smash Brothers, I thought, who is this character? And later on, I happened to stumble on the fact that she was also in Mario Kart. But yeah, I don't know where she's from. And again, guys, I don't know all the different characters. So many games out there in a year, you can't play them all. And unfortunately, you can't. Some of these characters come out like, who are these people? But I'm doing the best to try to get to know them and get to know where they came from. So I like that history aspect of it as well. Now the next, of course, is Bowser, well-known character in Nintendo. I knew exactly who he was before he even was in Smash. The main boss of all Mario games. Excellent Smash character. My sister likes to do the spinning where he spins, and she does it near an edge, so she'll throw you off of the stage, then go near the edge and spin, so when you jump on to get back onto the ledge or back onto the stage, you can't, because you get hit and then you fall down and die. I hate that. But another great character. Now these guys, I had no idea who they were when they first were announced. I think they were announced back on Melee, I think. Super Smash Bros. Melee. Was the Ice Climbers. Now, I like the Ice Climbers. I used them to play them a lot in Melee. I liked them a lot. I actually got pretty good at them. But I had no idea where they came from or what games. I now know where they've come from, and I actually, it's on my list of games I would like to get to playing, because on the Switch you have those NES and SNES consoles if you have the online subscription, you get access to a lot of free games, and they're on there. The Ice Climbers are on there, so I would like to give them a try and test them out, along with Kirby, of course, which is also on there as well. Now the next, I knew exactly who this was from Ocarina of Time, which was Sheik, right? You get introduced to Sheik when Link is going through time, and you get to meet Sheik as a grown-up Zelda. So I was no stranger to Sheik when Sheik was introduced. Similar things with Zelda, right? The next character, Zelda. I knew exactly who Zelda was. Little hint to everybody, Zelda's my favorite Smash character, and she's my main. I really think she's fantastic. I just absolutely love the design that they've done, especially the design that they have right now for Zelda in Smash Ultimate. Fantastic, absolutely. The piece de resistance, as I like to say. She's wonderful. Can't say anything better about Zelda. Now the next character, I recognized who he was, but I didn't know why he was in the particular outfit, and that is Dr. Mario. So I know there is the whole Dr. Mario franchise where you're matching up pills and things, and it's sort of like a Bejeweled type game or a Tetris type game. I have never played it. Again, I can. It's on the Switch now, where you can play those if you have the online membership. So it's definitely something I'd like to give a try to see where he came from there. But I knew who the character was before he was introduced in Smash. Again, I think he was introduced in Melee. But I didn't know why he was dressed that way or what game he had his own separate game. I didn't know that, but I knew it was Mario. Now the next character, I knew exactly who it was, and that's Pichu. Again, as a Pokemon fan, it wasn't a surprise to me. You know, I love Pokemon, so seeing Pichu was great. I hated Pichu as a character because every time he attacked, he got hurt. I hated that aspect and gimmick, but so I didn't play as Pichu a lot, but I knew who he was. The next one is Falco. I knew exactly who Falco was from Star Fox. You know, I loved him. I was actually hoping they would put Wolf, which of course they eventually were going. They did, but I really was glad they put Falco in. Another great character to add. Now this next character, when I seen him, again, I'm pretty sure it was Melee where he was brought in. I did not know who he was. He was badass and looked super cool, and I liked him a lot, but I had no idea where he came from, and that was Marth. And again, he's from the whole Fire Emblem series, and here in the West, right, we did not get, I mean, there were people who had Fire Emblem who played and knew about it, but it was a very niche thing. Now it's not as niche as it was back then, but I had no idea who he was or where he came from. And it's actually, again, this is another reason why I made this video. So when I figured out who and where he came from, I set out to try to find a Fire Emblem game. And my first introduction to Fire Emblem was Birthright on the 3DS. And I finally was able to play a Fire Emblem game. And I loved it. It is a fantastic game. I wish I had got in sooner. I really enjoyed it. And I've actually been playing other Fire Emblem games because this is an excellent series. And again, I can thank Super Smash Brothers for this, because if they did not include a Fire Emblem character, I may never have been introduced to the series. And that was the inspiration, essentially, for this video, was because of this brawler of all these great Nintendo characters, and now characters aren't even Nintendo or Sega or Konami and things. They just expanded to be like a great video game collage. It's fantastic. I love it. All fighting together. It introduces people to characters and series and franchises that they might never have been exposed to before, and might inspire them to play some of the games in that franchise. And to be honest, Marth is a big part of the reason why I went into Fire Emblem. So I owe a lot to Super Smash Brothers for that. So, but at the time, I had no idea who Marth was when he was first introduced. But now I have a better idea. Now, the next character, of course, is Lucina. Again, from Fire Emblem, had no idea. when she was introduced, who or where she came from. Now, of course, young Link, I knew exactly who that was from Ocarina of Time. I knew exactly, and I was so excited to have him there. Of course, Ganondorf, another main series, right? He's the main boss of the whole Zelda franchise, right? So I was very familiar with him, and also a really good player in character to have in Smash. Like, he's really good and pretty powerful moves. I do like that. Now, my second favorite character in the Smash series is Mewtwo, and I was no stranger to Mewtwo. I love that character. I love how fast he is, and the power, and I just love him. I think he's fantastic, and I'm glad they introduced him in Pokemon. The next character, of course, is Roy. I had no idea who Roy was, or again, he was introduced with Marth in the GameCube era in Melee. I had no idea again who he was. I liked him a lot though, especially his holding B, where he charges his sword and flames at them. I just loved that aspect, but I had no idea who he was. Again, anybody with Fire Emblem, I had no idea who they were. The next character is Corrin. Again, another character from Fire Emblem. Again, I had no idea who he was when he was first introduced. Now, Mr. Game & Watch. I had heard about Game & Watch. I knew they were little handheld toys from my dad back in the day. I never played one, and I didn't know this is what he looked like. So I heard about him, but I didn't know who he really was as a character until Smash. So that's really, really good. Another really cool character to have in Smash. The next one's Meta Knight. Again, when he was introduced in, I want to say Melee. I don't quote me on it, but when he was first introduced, I knew who he was. I had never played a Kirby game, but I knew who he was based on the television show that I was telling you about earlier. So that's how I knew about Meta Knight. And again, really cool character. I love that tornado that he can do. Oh my god, I used to spam that and I used to piss my sister off all the time. Great character to have. Pit and Dark Pit, I had no idea where they came from, who they were, what they did. Didn't know. I had no idea who they were. I still have not played any games with Pit yet. I would definitely like to change that, because I think he's a pretty cool character to have. The next is Zero Suit Samus, again, because I didn't even know she was even a part of the Metroid series. So I didn't know anything about that. I just knew, there was a suit form at the time. I thought she was a completely different character from someplace else. So, very, very cool. I know a lot of people were surprised to find out that Samus is a girl all those years ago. I think it's fantastic, and I think she's a great character to have in Smash as well. But I did not really know where she came from at the time. And the next one's Wario. I have never played any of the Wario games. I know they're highly spoken about and a lot of fan service, and a lot of people like them. I have not played any Wario games, but I knew who Wario was before he was introduced in Smash, and that's because of Mario Party. So that's the only reason why I knew about Wario. So it was nice to see him there. I'm like, oh cool, Wario's here. Now, Snake. This is pretty cool. I have dabbled a little bit with the Solid Snake series. I remember a little bit with Snake Eater. I played just a very little bit there, and the fourth game, I remember playing that. But yeah, just a little bit, not a lot, maybe like an hour, but very, very little. So I don't have a lot of experience there, but I knew who he was before he was in Smash. So that was really good. The next character is Ike. Again, I had no idea, Fire Emblem, right? I had no idea where he came from or any of that. I really like this character, and it's the Pokemon trainer. So I obviously knew that from Pokemon, but it's a cool introduction into the Smash Brothers game. I love the idea. I think, what was that? That was for the Wii, right? When they brought him in for the one for the Wii Brawl. I thought fantastic to have him in there. I used to love switching out the various Pokemon. Oh, it was a lot of fun. A great introduction. But I knew who he was before he was there. Same thing with Diddy Kong. Again, if you played any of the Donkey Kong games or Diddy Kong Racing, you knew who he was. An excellent character, and I knew who he was before he was introduced. The character I didn't know, again, was Lucas. And again, I didn't play the Mother series, so I did not recognize him. But I thought he was cool. I thought he was cool when I first seen him. Now this very important Sega fighter, I recognized immediately when he was introduced, and that was Sonic. I've played a lot of Sonic games, not all of them, but a good amount of Sonic games. And so I recognized him, and I thought he was super cool, and I was very excited that they finally brought in Sonic. You know, he's the, like, think about it, you're having a fighter game against all these iconic characters from video games, and the two biggest rivals, as far as I was concerned, as a kid even, I knew it was Sonic, Mario. You see it all the time. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, they're on the cover, right? They're fighting each other to see who can win gold, right? So it was a no-brainer that they would put them in here, and so I'm glad they did that finally. Now the next fighter is King DDD. Now again, I did not play any of the Kirby games, still haven't, but I knew about him from that television show, and he's kind of cool to be in there, and I'm happy he's there. I don't play him very often, but I'm glad he's there. A character who I absolutely loved and played a lot of and got really good at was Olimar. I have never played a Pikmin game. Well, that's not true. I mean, I guess I played a little bit, but I wouldn't really call it that much of an experience. You know, 10 minutes is not really playing it. But I know about it. I knew about Pikmin, and I knew about who Olimar was before he was in Smash. But yeah, I never played through a game, and I do want to correct that, because I do think I would really enjoy it as a game. The next one's Lucario. I knew who Lucario was, right? Again, as a Pokemon fan, you ain't going to surprise me if you put a Pokemon in. I know who they are. Now, I did not know who this character was at all. I thought he was cool, but had no idea until I looked up the history. And I read more about him. I believe it was in Melee, where there was either a trophy or something where you could read about the backstory, and that was Rob. And getting to know about sort of that whole history and how he was first introduced, because it was trying to make it as a gimmick for introducing video games after the video game crash and saying, yeah, it's a toy, right? It's for marketing of toys. I thought was fantastic and really cool. And to have him as a character now, wonderful. I thought this was really cool. But I had no idea who he was prior to him being introduced in Smash. Now, Toon Link, I knew who Toon Link was, right? Before he was put into Smash Brothers, mainly obviously from Wind Waker, right? I have never played through Wind Waker all the way, maybe a couple hours, but I watched my friend and my brother-in-law as well play through it. So I knew who Toon Link was before he was even put into Smash. Wolf, as I mentioned before, I knew who Wolf was, right? The main antagonist, or one of the main antagonists in Star Fox. So I was pretty happy to have him there, really cool. This was an introduction of a character that I thought was so cool, and I was so happy to have him a part of Melee, and that's the Villager. I'm a really big fan of the Animal Crossing series, so when I seen this being brought in, I loved it. I thought, can you imagine this? I love that entire series. I actually was hoping that you could play as Tom Nook. But having the Villager is iconic. I'm happy that he's there. He's not the greatest Smash character. I do play him quite a bit though, when I do play Smash. But I'm glad that he's there, and I knew about him before he was in Smash Brothers. Same goes with Mega Man. I remember in the arcade playing Mega Man. I have never played Mega Man on a console. And I have a lot of the Mega Man games, I just haven't played them. Because you can get them as collections. and I just haven't played them. So, I would like. I knew who he was, and I think it would be nice to play some of those Mega Man games. The next is the Wii Fit trainer. I knew who the Wii Fit trainer was from the Wii Fit games, so I was not surprised when I seen her there. Rosalina, no idea. I had no idea who she was when I seen her. I knew she was from Mario just by her design, but I had no idea where she was from. I now know it's from Mario Galaxy. I have not played Mario Galaxy. So, you know, I now have it, Mario Galaxy, for the Switch, so I'm going to give that a try sometime. But I did not know who she was. The next fighter is Little Mac. I had no idea who Little Mac was. And it's nice to know that I can play that now in Punch-Out and be Little Mac and experience that again. You can experience that in the, is it NES or Super, one of those apps that are on the Switch, so you can experience that. But I had no idea who he was. I actually, when I originally seen him, I thought he was actually from the Wii Sports. You know, you do the boxing. I thought that's what he was representing, but I was way wrong there. Greninja, I knew who Greninja was before when he even was in Smash. Again, as a Pokemon fan, not a surprise. The Mii fighters, I mean, come on. From the Wii U, I knew who these, or sorry, not the Wii U, but, well, I guess from the Wii U, but also the Wii. I knew who they were. So I was not surprised. They're not great. I didn't get into the whole making your own in that. But I thought they were kind of cool. Who is the next character? Oh, Palutena. Yeah, that one I had no idea. No idea where she came from. I now know it's from the Kid Icarus series, but I had no idea where she came from. The next character, I knew exactly who he was, and that's Pac-Man. I remember playing Pac-Man in the arcades, so I knew exactly who Pac-Man was, and I was so excited to see him in the Smash Brothers universe. The next character is Robin. Again, because I did not have a Fire Emblem series, I had no idea who he was, or Corrin, or Corrin, or any of them. I had no idea who, or Ike. I didn't know who any of these characters were. So I'm glad now I kind of have an idea who they are, and I'm glad that they introduced me to the Fire Emblem series because I love it. It's a great series. Now this character, when I seen him, I thought he was from a different series than what he was. I thought he was from a Final Fantasy series, to be honest, and that's Shulk. When I first seen him, like, oh, Final Fantasy. And for some reason, I think it's because it's his sword, right? It just, for some reason, screamed Final Fantasy to me. But he's not. He's from Xenoblade Chronicles, right? Or the Xenoblade series. So I'm glad that he's in there. I had another game I haven't played, partly because it's super, super long, and I did not want to play it. I was on the Wii or Wii U, one of them when they first came out, and I didn't want to play it on there. For some reason, I think it was the controls. Some review I had seen said it was clunky or something. So that's one of the reasons there. Bowser Jr., I knew who Bowser Jr. was before he was in Smash. Obviously, as a Mario fan, I knew exactly who he was. This character, I had no idea who he was or where he came from, and that was Duck Hunt. And I now obviously know, and I actually have experienced Duck Hunt since he's been introduced into the Mario Super Smash Brothers franchise, so I've now actually played Duck Hunt. And it's I'm glad to have done that. And again, because of he was introduced in Smash Brothers, I went out and found it and tried to play it and experience that game. So I'm so grateful for that. The next character is Ryu. I have never played a Street Fighter game. Well, maybe I have. I might have played it, but I don't remember playing any on console, that's for sure. I might have in the arcade, but just don't remember. I remember Mortal Kombat, playing that a lot in the arcade. But I might have played it, but I don't remember playing as Ryu. So, when he was introduced in Smash Brothers, I did not know where he came from or who he was. The same goes for Ken, who's also in Street Fighter. I had no idea who he was, but I'm glad he's introduced. Now, when this character was introduced, I knew exactly where he came from, and that is Cloud, and of course Sephiroth, who's also now been introduced in the DLC pack. I knew they came from Final Fantasy. I knew very well where they came from, and I'm so happy they're there because they are fantastic characters, a fantastic franchise. I have dabbled in Final Fantasy. I would like to actually get better and more proficient in Final Fantasy. I watched my friends play it. I played a little bit here and there, but I've never played through a complete game myself. So I'm going to be doing that because I know I'm missing out on a ton by not playing Final Fantasy, and I know I'd love it. As an RPG fan, I would absolutely love it. The next, of course, is it's Corrin. I didn't know where he. Did not know where he came from. I now know where he came from the Fire Emblem series. This character I was super excited and I actually voted for to be in Smash Brothers. It was Bayonetta. I love Bayonetta. I think she's an awesome character. I love the Bayonetta series. I'm so excited for Bayonetta 3 when they ever release that. Great game. And I'm so glad she's in Smash. She's a fantastic player and I just love it. And I knew who she was obviously before because I voted her in. So great game. Now, I've never played a game in this franchise, but I know who they are, and that's the Inklings. So I've never played any of the what are they called? That series. I've never played any of them. So I knew about them, but I hadn't played any of those games. The same goes for Ridley. I did not know where Ridley came from. Obviously, I now know it's Metroid, but I did not know back then. This character is awesome, and I'm glad they're in it. Simon Belmont. Oh my god, I knew exactly who Simon was. I have not really played a Castlevania game, but personally, but I watched others play him, especially my brother-in-law. So I know all the characters. So I knew who he was, and the same for the other guy that's in there too. They have brand new, but I knew who he was, which is awesome. The next, of course, is King K. Rool. I knew exactly from Donkey Kong series. I totally remember whooping his ass in DK64. What a great game, man! If you don't like it, you gotta try it. It's a good game. I was so happy when they brought Isabelle into Smash. I mean, she's such a great character in the Animal Crossing series. Like, I love her. She's such a cheery person. I just think she's wonderful. I'm glad they brought her in. Incineroar, I knew who he was as a Pokemon fan. I understand why he's in, because he's kind of like a wrestler, inspired by a wrestler, but I don't know. I wasn't happy when they brought Incineroar in. Not that I disliked that Pokemon, but I thought there could have been a lot of more interesting Pokemon that they could have brought in. But anyways, I knew who Incineroar was. Now with some of the new DLC that has been brought out, of course, I knew who the Pariah Plant was. I knew who that exactly from the Mario franchise. The same thing with Joker. I have never played a Persona game, but I knew who he was just based on the lore and having been around in the gaming sphere. Same thing with Hero. I have never played a Dragon Quest game. I own several Dragon Quest games, I just never played any. So I knew who he was and where he came from, but I had never played any of the games prior to him being introduced here into Smash Brothers. Similar things with Banjo and Kazooie. I've never played those games. I have it downloaded on my Xbox for the Rare Replay, but I have just not played it yet. But I knew who they were before they were introduced. The next character on the roster is Terry. Again, I had no idea who Terry was. I didn't know where he came from. I still don't really know. I think it's Streets of Rage, but I'm not 100% sure on that. or Fatal Fury, one of them. But I'm not familiar with Terry. So that's unfortunate. Blythe again is from the Final Fantasy, or not Final Fantasy, Fire Emblem series. I again had no idea where he came from. What I thought was very, very cool was, of course, having Steve. Now, I have been a Minecraft fan for a long time, way back when we were just on PC. So I knew who Steve was when he came out, which is really cool. Similar things with Min Min from ARMS. I knew who she was from ARMS, which is a very recent sort of iteration that Nintendo's brought out for the Switch. I've already mentioned about Sephiroth, and the last one I think on here is Priya and Mithra. Again, these are from the Xenoblade, which I have not played, but I didn't know who they were when they were released here on Smash. But they definitely are cool characters. So that's sort of the entire roster. I just thought I'd go through them and tell you if I've known about them and my thoughts a little bit about them in the background, if I had known who they were prior to when they came out and introduced in Smash Brothers. And as you can see, there were a lot of them that I did not know. And I think that's the point and why I really, really love Super Smash Brothers, is because it is bringing together now gaming history and all these gaming characters all in one, so that anybody and everybody can experience these various characters from various franchises, so that we can, if you were interested, potentially go to those franchises and actually learn more about them and play those games. And they open up your horizons. And that's what I like about Smash Brothers. They inspire people to go beyond their comfort zone or things they know and get them introduced to new franchises. I love it. I think it's great. And I know it's encouraged me to play more of these games and characters from Smash Brothers, to explore where they came from, just because they were there. And I hope it's the same for you. I'm sure many of you've seen various characters like, who the heck are you? I have no idea where you came from. And it inspires you to look them up and maybe get interested in that series. If that's happened to you, please share in the comments below. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I just want to let you guys know, thank you so much for watching, and I very much appreciate you all. I hope you all are staying safe, and take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.